37, 14 lines from the top of the page. The Mishnah dealt with the issue of kinus, meaning one married and performed ייבום to his יבמה, הכונסת יבמתו, ונמצאת מעוברת, and she is found to be pregnant and give birth. So they said, ספק בין תשעה לראשון, ספק בין שבעה לאחרון. If the child is viable, but it's uncertain whether the child is 9-month-old baby of the first brother or 7-month-old baby of the later brother, יוציא, he must discharge her, והוולד כשר, but the child is legitimate in any way, וחייבים באשם תלוי, but they are obligated to bring an offering because of that unintentional violation. Asham talui is the offering brought when one is uncertain whether or not he has inevitably committed a karet bearing sin. In this case, both the yavam and yavama must bring an asham talui because it's possible that the child is that of a dead brother, in which case they committed the karet bearing sin of a brother's wife out of the context of ייבום. אמר לרבא לרב נחמן, לימה הלך אחר רוב נשים, ורוב נשים לתשעה ילדן. You should go by the majority of women, and the majority of the women give birth 9 months, which means we should judge the child to be certainly the child of the dead brother, and if so, the Yavam and Yevama have been definitely guilty of violating the sin of a brother's wife, and should be obligated to bring a definite sin offering, not an asham talui, as the Mishnah said. Amar lei nashei didan leshiv'a yaldan. Our women, which means the Chazon Ish said in Even HaEzer Kuf Tedvav, that means the women in my family, they are delivering babies, giving birth at the 7th month. So he said, Amar lei nashei didchu have ruba de alma, which means you not represent all the women, the majority of the world, the nature of you women. Notwithstanding, certainly the majority of women give birth at 9 months, and my question stands. So he said, Amar le hache ka'amina, rov nashin yaldan letisha. I agree with you that it's a matter of 9 months period for women to deliver a child. Umiut leshiv'a. There are those who deliver the baby and sending in the incubator, right, in the 7th month. וכל היולדת לתשעה וברא ניכר לשליש ימיה. Those who deliver a regular baby in the 9 months, in the 3rd of the time, meaning after the 3 months, you see already a signal that she is pregnant. We learn it from the story of Yehuda and Tamar in the Bereshit in Genesis 38. They said, after 3 months, Vayugad liYehuda le'imor, Yehuda was informed, Zanta Tamar kalatecha, which means they recognize her moving a belly that she is pregnant after 3 months. So vezo, and this yevama, ho'il velo ukar ubara lishlish yamea, and since this baby was not recognized and the passing the 3 months, itra lei ruba. So therefore, determination according to the majority is weakened with respect to her. If in the case of every quote-unquote women that deliver a baby in the 9th month, you recognize in 1/3, so you sure that her fetus is certainly the 7th month baby on the later one. and it's not a question, אלא אימה רוב היולדת לתשעה. You said most of the women who give birth at 9 months, her fetus ubaran ניכר לשליש ימיה. It's noticeable at a third of her days. והי, and this one, מדלא הוכר לשליש ימיה, since her fetus was not noticeable at a third of her days, which is at 3 months, יתרה לי רובה, the termination follow, the majority is weakened in respect to her. תנו רבנן. The sages teach us. תנו רבנן. ראשון ראוי להיות כהן גדול. So the sages say that the first child is fit to be כהן גדול, ושני ממזר מספק. But the second, so Rashi explained, if the Yavan keep her as his wife until she bears a second child, who is definitely his, unlike the first one, who might be son of the dead brother. So the sheni mamzer misafek. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov omer ein mamzer misafek. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov said mamzer cannot be out of doubt. My kamar. What is that? What? So you know for sure that that the second one it's not clear if it's so why Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov said that it's not issue of ממזרות? אמר רביי הכי כאמר ראשון ראוי להיות כהן גדול ושני ספק ממזר ואסור בממזרת. And the second one, since you're not sure, so he is prohibited for ממזרת, because that's the key here. רבי אליעזר בן יעקב אומר אינו ספק ממזר אלא ודאי ממזר ומותר בממזרת. So he said that he is for sure the second one treated like definitely mamzer because of the doubt, and is permitted to marry mamzeret because the Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov hold that those who has the quandary, they allowed to marry with the similar cases. רב אמר הכי כאמר הראשון ראוי להיות כהן גדול. The first child is fit to be כהן גדול, ושני ממזר ודאי מספק, but the second is treated like a definite ממזר because of the doubt, ומותר בממזרת. So in my book on Rashi said here, כלומר מתוך ספק זה נעשה כוודאי ממזר ומותר בממזרת. So the word of Rabbi is not clear, because what does that mean? Sheni, the second one, mamzer vadayu misafek. Because if you tell me that it's for sure a mamzer, so why you said safek? And the truth is that it's safek, that it's not clear. And if it's not clear, so what exactly Abaye disputed him? So Rashi said, because he is a question of legitimate one, you treated him the same as definite legitimate child, and therefore illegitimate child can marry female illegitimate child because you treated it equally. That's the word of Tanaka Mama. And the other one disputed, and you see more on that in the matter of the קידושין. ורבי אליעזר בן יעקב אומר אין ודאי ממזר מספק אלא ספק ממזר ועסוק בממזרת. רבי אליעזר בן יעקב said that he's not treated like a definite mamzer because of the doubt, and you said is only possible mamzer who is forbidden to marry mamzeret. So Rabbi takes the view of the Tanakama and Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov. He be exactly reverse of what Abaye explained earlier. The Kamifligate, the Rabbi Elazar. Now we go to the Tractate Kiddushin, page 74. Ditnan. Rabbi Elazar Omer Vada'an bevada'an mutar. We have in the Torah certain category of people that we cannot marry with. So those people whom we, meaning regular people, cannot marry with, they can marry the same category, vadan bisfeikan. However, if they have marriage between the definite one and the uncertain ones, usfekan bevadaan, and the uncertain one with the definite ones, usfekan besfekan, asur, or between the uncertain one and uncertain one is forbidden. And now you give the list to make it clear. Ve'elu en sfekan, this is the one that we are uncertain. Shtuki, the one who recognizes his mother but not his father, because when he calls someone dead, his mother quieting. That's the way Rashi said. Va'asufi, asufi meaning that you see it unfortunately in some countries. You walk around the trash can and you see a baby crying, right? Which means you're collecting this, you're adopting this child that doesn't recognize neither father nor his mother. So you have concern that maybe the mother get pregnant for something that it's illegitimate. Vechuti, so the Kutian, and we explained several times that they have an issue with them because they don't betroth with regular ways that we are doing, which is either contract, etc. And therefore there is issue of mamzerut of their children. ואמר רב יהודה, אמר רב הלכה כרבי אלעזר. כי אמרית קמי דשמואל אמר לי, הלל שנה, 10 יוחסין עלו מבבל. This is very important. It's a generational classes went up from Babylon to Eretz Israel. Kahanei, which is the Kohanim, the priest. Leviei, which is the Levites. Ve'Yisraelei, the regular Israelim. Chalalei, what is Chalalei? If Kohen have cohabited with women that prohibited to him to be married, for example, if a Kohen cohabited with divorced women, the baby that was born from that cohabitation can no longer be a Kohen, and it's called Halal. He is now out of the picture of Kehuna. Geirei, the convert. Charurei, which is Canaanite servant that release. Mamzerei, those who came from the Arayot. Netinei, which is the descendants of the Givonim. So this is what happened, that they are trader, etc. So Yoshua, in chapter 9 in the book of Joshua, when it's turned that they are not trustworthy, the trader and all kind of the way that they trick Yoshua, so you make them like the people who bring in the water, you know, how do you say it, second-class citizens, whatever. Shtukei va'asufei, because it's safek mamzerut, it's not clear. Vechulan mutarim lavo ze baze, but they can marry each other under their category. Ve'at amart, and you tell me, halacha k'Rabbi Elazar, that mamzer cannot do with shtuki and shtuki b'shtuki and shtuki b'asufi, cannot do it. Abaye savar la kishmuel damar halacha k'Hillel, that they can marry each other. Mukela Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov the Alibadi ilcheta ki echad elotish k'she'ali ilcheta ilcheta. Because Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov is kav v'naki, you cannot after the Gemarrah in Gittin 67 said that this is the final word, that Abaye said that we go by that view of Hillel, so therefore you cannot go and challenge that. It's like the final word. Rava savar la kerav de amar, halacha kerabi Elazar, sfekan bevadaan, sfekan besfekan prohibited, mokila Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov aliba de ilcheta. Which means, according to Rabbi Elazar, ki heichei in order for us not to ask, 37b, I hilcheta, in one halacha to another halacha. Amar Abaye mena minalei. So basically, in short, this is you see that the Tanaic dispute if the Isur Safek can marry with those who are, have the same. According to according to Hillel they allow. According to Rabbi Eliezer they are prohibited. Abaye follow Hillel, and Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov follow his view. Rava hold the same as Rabbi Elazar, and therefore explain Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov holding his view. Amar Rabbi Yemena minalei. Dechol sfek al Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov kevadai mishabelei. דתניא, רבי אליעזר בן יעקב אומר, הרי שבעל נשים הרבה אין יודע על איזה מהם בא. If a person have a cohabitation with many women, and is not sure which one of them, וכן היא שבאו עליה אנשים הרבה ואינה יודעת מאיזה מהם קיבלה. Women have relation with many men, and she is not sure which one of them she conceived. נמצא אב נושא את ביתו ואח נושא את אחותו. So you have a potential that the father married his daughter and the brother married his sister, ונתמלא כל העולם כולו ממזרים, and the entire world filled with ממזרים, ועל זה נאמר ומלאה הארץ זימה. And that's what they said in Leviticus 19 that makes God angry when the land will fill with a depravity. So it means that even that it's only ספק ממזרים, רבי אליעזר בן יעקב already called them ממזרים. ורבא אמר לה, הכי אמר, זו היא מה? זימה, it's like what is this? It's a language of quandary. So, יתר על כן אמר רבי אליעזר בן יעקב, לא יישא אדם אישה במדינה זו. A person cannot marry one woman in one country. וילך ויישא אישה במדינה אחרת, which means you can marry Gilbert in one woman in Panama, and then you go to Costa Rica and marry another woman.
Don't it's legal? Because
Shema,
it's different country.
Shema, listen the problem. We don't talk about federal law. Listen the problem. Let's say a fellow did it. He went and married someone in Panama, and then this guy, rich guy, he went to Colombia and married another woman. Okay? Now the problem is, Shema is דבגו זה לזה, ונמצא אח נושא את אחותו. The problem is that maybe, you know what's going to happen? That they don't know about each other, and then a brother can marry his sister without knowing that. Right? So it means, even in the case of marriage, that something is well known, Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov put a decree that a person should not do anything that creates issue of mamzerut. Eini, is that true that a person cannot marry different women in different countries? Veha Rav igla le dar deshir. When Rav went to that place, it's called Dar Deshir, it's Tractate Yevamot, page 18. That's the place he used to go. Machriz ve'amar, man havya leyoma. He asked, he declared, is any woman want to marry for today with me? V'Rav Nachman be'ikla, lish chanziv, machriz ve'amar, man havya leyoma. Which means, in those days, it was normal for people to have different women in different places. So they said, the Gemara said, Shane Rabbanan defkiya shmaihu. The sages are different because people know them. So because they know them, so they call the daughters the under names. So if the son will come from different location, he knew that he is the daughter of his father, which means they have sister, have brother, and they stay away from her. ואמר רבא תבעו להינשא ונתפייסה. Rava said that if a person marriage was proposed to a woman and she accepted, צריכה להישב 7 נקיים. She is required to observe 7 clean days before the marriage may be consummated. How then could these rabbis have married a woman immediately upon arriving in those places? So they said, Rabbanan shaluchei havu meshadrei umodeleu. The sages will send their emissaries 7 days in advance to inform the women of their proposal, so that whoever agreed could observe the 7 clean days and thus be permitted to the sages immediately upon their arrival. Umodele. V'bai tema, another option. Lerabanan yachudei be'almahu demiyachadelo. The case of the sages, they merely secluded themselves with their temporary wife, but did not engage in marital relations with them. And how they did, they taking the temporary wives, guard them from the scene. The Marmar, this is a well-known statement. אינו דומה מי שיש לו פת בסלו למי שאין לו פת בסלו. You cannot compare someone who has a bread in his basket to someone who doesn't have a bread in his basket. So it means that a person who is married doesn't have the same desire as someone who is married. I see Dr. Friedman have a lot of questions. So Tosfot involved with this and others. What exactly this answer the question? Tana, now very important statement. This is important statement to all of you guys. So listen carefully. Tana Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov Omer. לא יישא אדם אשתו ודעתו לגרשה. A person should not marry wife and have in mind to divorce her. משום שנאמר, because they said in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, אל תחרוש על רעך רעה, והוא יושב לבטח איתך. Do not devise evil toward your friend while he is dwelling securely with you. Meaning, she is living with you and you are not planning to stay with her, right? So the sages said that a person should be honest and say that, the lawyers will not advise this way, right? But here they said that that's the proper way, that to inform of your plan, or to be very clear. ספק ויבם שבאו לחלוק בנכסי מתנה. What do you want to say?
There was a guy, while I was in the military, married 2 wives and have a girlfriend. Then he got a heat stroke, died. Both wives show up fighting over who want to get the compensation. But the first wife got it because she had the papers. Yeah, she was the first one he married, so the one who married first, she's the one who get the money, and the kid got something.
All right. ספק ויבם שבאו לחלוק בנכסי מתנה. If you have this son that was born to that Yevamah, which means that it's a question between the first brother and the son of the Yavam, and they come and divided the estate of the deceased brother, ספק אמר ענה בר מתנה הוא ונכסי דידיו, ויבם אמר עד ברי דידיית ולית לך לא מידי בנכסי. So each of them have strong claim. The one, the uncertain one, claim, I am the son of the deceased brother, and the estate is mine. And the Yavam claims, you are my son, and you have no claim, whatever is an estate. Havei mamon hamutal besafek. The money is lying in doubt, since both claims have equal weight. Umamon hamutal besafek cholkin. That money lies in doubt, you divide it by litigant. So that's this is something that the Gemara in Bava Metzia at the very beginning discuss at length. Case number 2. ספק ובני יבם שבאו לחלוק בנכסי מתנה. The uncertain one and the sons of Yavam that came to take possession of the estate of the deceased brother. ספק אמר ההוא גברא במתנהו. The uncertain one said that I am the son of the deceased brother, ונכסי דידיו, and the property is mine. בני יוון אמר את אחינו את, הוא דאית לך בעדן, you are the brother, and it is but a portion of what you're together with us. סבור רבנן קמי דרב משרשיה למימר, מתניתין דתנן, הוא או יורש אותן, the one who's in the uncertain not inherited them, because the sons of the first one override the other one, and the son of the override, the last one override the first one, והם יורשים אותו, they divided the inheritance, והכה היפכה, התם אמרי לה אתי ראיה ושקול, הכה אמר לו אייתו ראיה ושקולו, אמר לו רב משרשיה מדמי, רב משרשיה said you cannot compare, התם אינו ודאי ואי הוא ספק, הכה אידי ואידי ספק, אלא אידמיה למתניתין להדמיה. Let's go to the third similar, which is לספק ובני יבם, the uncertain one and the sons of the Yavam come to take possession of the estates of the Yavam itself. The Hatam Amri Lei Aiteraya the Achunaat Ushkol. They say, the sons of the Yavam say to the uncertain one, bring proof that you are our brother, and only then you take a portion together with us. And now we go to the case 4. Safek ubnei Yavam sheba'u lachlok v'nichsei Yavam. The uncertain one and the sons of the Yavam come to take possession of the estate of the Yavam. Lebatar de palag Yavam b'nichsei mitna. And then after the Yavam has already taken portion of the estate of the first deceased brother, bnei Yavam amrei, the sons of the Yavam claim, Aitiraya da'achunat ushkol. Bring proof that you are our brother, and only then you take a portion together with us. Amalu safek, the uncertain one said, Mainach fshayu. Either way, if I'm your brother, then give me a share together with you. And if I'm son of the first deceased brother, so give back to me a half of the estate of your father, divided to me with me, and with the estate of the first deceased brother was distributed. Rabbi Abba Amar Rav Kam Dinei, the original judgment stayed. Rabbi Yomi Amar Hadar Dina. Rabbi Yomi said the original judgment is reversed. So you see here that the judgment stand, the judgment reverse. There is a book called Trumat Adeshen, chapter 310, elaborates on that, when you reverse and when not. Leima beflukta de admon v'rabanan kamifligei. Maybe you said that Rabbi Abba and Rabbi Yirmiyah disputed in the disputation between Admon and the sages. Ditnan. This is Mishnah in Tractate Yevamot, page 109. Mi she'alach limdinat hayam ve'avda lo sadeu. And that happened in Poland, and that happened in many countries, in those places that the issue of registrations. One went overseas, and he returned only to find that the path of his field has become lost. So it means, can be in many different ways. Admon omer yelech baktsara, which means he said that he may go to his field via the short route, which means he forced the other owner of the property to give him a shortcut to his path. V'chachamim omrim, the majority of the sages said, yikach lo derech b'me'a maneh. He must either buy for himself a path for 100 maneh, or yifrach ba'avir, or he fly through the air to get to his field. Which means, in that sense, soon the Gemara explain how it happens. Ve'avinan ba, and we challenge that. Le Rabbanan Shapir Ka'amar Admon. That he said that you should take the shortcut. So why the sages disputed him? It's because the Talmud hold that the moment you purchase a land, so you purchase also the all the four corners, which means any entrance or any sides, it's yours. ואמר רב יהודה אמר רב אחא מאי עסקינן כגון שהקיפו 4 בני אדם מ4 רוחות. here is the issue that the property owned in 4 different people surrounded the field on its 4 sides. So the moment that happened, each of them can say that the path go toward his property. Yachem Aitama de Admon. So what's the rationale of Admon that ruling otherwise? Marava be'arba'a da'atu mikoach arba'a. That the case that 4 present owners who derive the right to the surrounding properties from 4 previous owners. So it means ve'arba'a de'atu mikoach had, or 4 present owners who derive the rights to the surrounding properties from previous owner. Kule alma lo pligei dematzu madchile. Everyone agreed, both Admon and rabbis agrees that the owner of the surrounding properties are able to push him off. In such case, even Admon agrees that the field owner has no claim. Ki pligei, when Admon and sages disputed, in the case of the bechad de'ate mikoach arba'a, you have 1 that come from 4 previous owner. Admon sabar maimatze amarli. Admon hold that the center, the one who owned the middle field, can say to all those around, mikol makom darki gabachu. He said that in any case, my path in the field is somehow with you. V'Rabbanan savri da'amri lei ishatakt. Shatak, the sages hold that the owner of the surrounding property can say to him, if you keep quiet, then keep quiet, and I will sell you the path for a reasonable price. Which means it's usually, Rashi said that it's high. The law, it's like a threaten. If you don't keep quiet, mehadran ashtara lemarayu. So, and if you relinquish, if you not keep quiet and relinquish your claim, then I'll return the deeds to the original owner, and you will not be able to argue a claim against them. So therefore, it's the Tosfot explained in Tractate Yevamot, page 109, that that argument forcing to pay extraordinary money in order to keep it. Leima Rabbi Abba de Amar ke Rabbanan, Rabbi Yomi de Amrei ke Admon. So they said, Amar lach Rabbi Abba ana de Amrei afilu ke Admon. I said that I follow the original way, following the Admon. Ad kan lo kamar Admon atam, ela mishum de Amar lei mima nafshach. Because the owner of the surrounding property said, however you wish to consider the matter, darki 38, darki chad gabachu, I have one way to you, which means he know clearly what he wants from him, and Ritva explained that it's like someone who challenged his fellow for something that mixed with his money. Avalacha mikale memarachi. ורבי ירמיה אמר לך, אנא דאמרי אפילו רבנן, עד כאן לא כאמרי רבנן, נתן משום דאמר לי, איש שתק שתק, והיא לא מהדרן השטרה למראיו, ולא מצא לשתו דינה בעדיו. אבל לך עמיקה לממרחי. So again, that's the 4th situation. The 5th one, ספק ויבם שבא לחלוק בנכסי סבא, which means the father of the deceased and the יבם. ספק אמר גברא בר מתנאו, ופלגה דידיהו, יבם אמר עד ברא ידידיה, ולתלך ולא מידי, ויבם מדי וספק ספק, ואין ספק מוציא מדי ודאי. That's a famous statement, that when you have something that it's not certain, and the uncertain claimant cannot remove anything from the hands of definite claimant. 6.1 ספק ובני יבם שבאו לחסול לוק בנכסי סבא. ספק אמר, ההוא גברא בר מתנא הוא, ופלגה דידיהו, I have a half, ובני יבם אמרי, Achunat, our brother, Manata, Itlan Bada, we have part. Palga de Kamodulu, which means they agree of part of these, his claim. Shakli, they take 6 Zehuvim, which means if they have 6, they take 3. Tilta de Kamodule, 1/3 that the sons of Yavam agreed, which means 2. Shakal, he takes, Pashlu Danka, which means they have 1/6. Hani Mamona Mutar Safek Vecholkim. So he takes in 1/6, half, and between them it's half and half. 7 and 8 cases. Saba v'Yavam b'nichsei Safek, a grandfather and Yavam come to distribute a estate of an uncertain one, or Saba v'Safek b'nichsei Yavam, or the grandfather and the uncertain one come to distribute the estate of the Yavam. Have Mamona mutal b'Safek v'Cholkin. This is the money that lies in doubt, since both claim have equal weight, and they therefore have to divide it. And Rashi said they cannot say that the grandfather is Vadai, because if you have that this is Safek, the quandary that this is son of the Yavam, you have nothing. So there is a Rosh and Tur here that go at length to explain what exactly the Safek, the quandary, it's now total category of Safek.
Boyachem leshuloim malachai yeshuloim malachai